Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good evening tonight. We are joined here with our buddy Jango from Spokane.
Yo, what's good, what's good?
We are going to discuss some really interesting, fun topics tonight about some of your music, your upcoming shows, and just all things Jango. So, the song you guys just heard was Espresso. Amazing song. I love it. I'm really excited. I know you have some new stuff coming out as well.
Yes, I do got a couple new releases. Some slated for the end of this year and more slated for the beginning of next year. So I'm really excited to be in release mode, man. It's been a little bit since my last release, merchandise with Sam Chow. So this is a really fun time for me. I love when I'm dropping music, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of leads me to one of my first questions. Keeping up with you on socials, you've been seeming really, really busy.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? Like, you've been all over the place, it seems like.
Before we started dropping songs, we just thought it was very important to kind of spread the name, spread the energy across a lot of these cities. So we did, this year we did 3 kind of headlining show runs, or co-headlining show runs. 2 with rock bands. We first started with Monster Watch. They're like a rock, electric, punk band from Seattle. And so we do it up with them. We did I believe 4 cities. And then we did our second show run with Elvis Batchild. We did another 4 cities with them. And then we're going to be doing our final show run here with All Star Opera. And they're a hip hop group. So we did rock, and now we're just jumping back into the hip hop with All Star Opera. And that actually will be coming up soon. We'll be September 9th. We'll be in Moscow, Idaho, at John Alley Tavern. And then the 10th will be Boise, Idaho, Neurolux. And then the 11th will be out in Portland, finishing up the show run. Yeah.
That's going to be an awesome... Well, we met you out in Boise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know the venue that you're going to be doing in Boise?
The Neurolux.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what it was. The Boise music scene, I love everything. Like Tree Fort, when we met you out there, it is amazing.
One of my favorite music festivals up here on the northwest side.
Like, absolutely the most amazing experience. And obviously that has led us to build this connection and everything.
Yeah.
Are you going to be going back to Tree Fort next year?
Absolutely. And if not next year, then the following year. Sometimes, we've already done it twice at this point.
Oh, that's right. That was your second Tree Fort, yeah.
Because we had the off-season one in November.
Yeah.
I think it was November. And then they had their full-blown one come March, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've done it twice already in a very short period of time. So if we don't do it next year, for whatever reason, if we choose not to, it will be the following year.
Yeah.
It definitely, especially because I've been really branching out. Like I told you guys the last time we got together, doing the hip hop and punk. It just makes so much sense. They're a pretty strong rock, punk, streamlined festival. So.
No, absolutely. And I feel like Boise kind of has an emerging music scene as well. That definitely, I didn't realize that prior to Tree Fort, but the music scene out there is kind of insane.
Yeah.
And I really like it. Yeah, it's really fun. So, dang, I wish I could go see you out in Boise on the show run. Kind of jealous.
If not, then, like I said, I may be hitting Tree Fort again.
Yeah,
so I'm sure if y'all make it out, we'll do our thing.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also staying on the topic of your shows and stuff. You've done shows out in Pullman prior. Mm-hmm. That was well before my time. Out here at KZUU. So I have no idea. I would have loved to seen you and met you back there. But what was that experience like performing for WSU?
Gosh, that was a high that just never stopped. We got to do. We were privileged to do a couple shows with the WSU student board. So I got to be direct support for Made in Tokyo, which was nuts. It was freaking insane. I got to meet him directly. We were in the same green room. Super humble guy. It was a really strong experience for me, especially early on in my career. I was just starting to get on my own 2 feet. I was just starting to grow my own confidence, and being able to be that close to some elite performers really helped me elevate my game, because performance is one of my biggest passions and then parts of this whole game. I love performing. So between Made in Tokyo and then I got to be direct support for Mine, which was insane. Wow. It was a Kook Fest. They did it outside, and I think still to this day it was one of their largest festivals that they had done.
That's crazy.
Back in 2018.
Wow, yeah. I'm kind of sad that I wasn't here for that.
It was insane.
It sounds so much fun.
It was insane. Like, blessed that I was actually like mentally prepared to like take that amount of people. But that to this day is still like my largest performance yet.
Besides that, like being around, Mine, Main Tokyo, like, do you think that really enabled you to like take the next step for yourself in your career? Like, did you feel like you really learned a lot from that experience with them?
I will say in some points yes, and in some points no. Like, I had a very strong team at the time, and I still do. But I had, at the time, my mentor was still living in the city with us, and so he had mentally prepared me for a lot of that elevation that I was already going to get. A lot of that growth I was going to get from meeting like majors. You know what I mean? And so when I was having these conversations with him, I was prepared to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I was prepared to understand what they were doing, how they were performing, and how they were gathering a crowd and gaining that exposure. So it was more just me taking notes, you know what I mean, and just peeping game and bringing that back home with me. I think what it did do for other people outside of Spokane, like Seattle and other cities, was it gave them an opportunity to look at us.
Gotcha.
It put a spotlight over to us. Because I remember at the time seeing like the local artists in Seattle that were booming. They were like, how is he getting these college shows? Everybody wants to do college shows.
No, it's a great market.
So how is a Spokane artist getting the first look for the college shows back in 2017, 2018? So it really gave us an opportunity to take our base and elevate that to the next level.
That's
you know
awesome.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. No, totally. And like, I know that me and you have been working recently on doing some more college shows. We're actually working on something hopefully in October out here in Pullman. It's a little, on the back scene, but definitely
fun, man.
Yeah, no, we're definitely getting you out here. We're getting getting back into the college scene with Pullman. Those years with COVID definitely kind of drained everybody, and kind of just connections fell. And I know KZUU took a little of a rough hit during COVID, but like, I'm really excited to get something going out here with you and just get that scene live again.
And I appreciate you for reaching out to me and trying to like bring that alive, man.
No, absolutely.
I already know my energy, once I get out here, is going to be contagious.
No, literally, like, I talk about you all the time, quite frankly.
Dope.
Like, almost everybody I meet, I'm like, hey, like, this guy Jango.
Yeah.
And I pull up his Instagram, and I'm like, look at his stage energy. Like, literally, like, it is so much fun, and, like, I really think that you would just kill it out here, and that everybody would love it. Like, because we have Pullman and Moscow, that's WSU and U of I population, and it's, like, it's kind of a perfect setup, because I mean Moscow is literally 10-15 minutes away.
Yeah, y'all's college scenes, because that's how I want to call it, is freaking insane, man. And I definitely would love to just get around more of the youth. Like, we just did Pig Out in the Park.
I saw that.
Last Sunday. For people who don't know, it's a family oriented event. Generally it's like a food event, but they have live music as well. And so I got to perform on the Sunday. I got the Sunday hip hop night.
Gotcha.
And basically some direct support for the headliner. And I think, what did they say? I can't remember if people fit the capacity. I want to say, don't quote me on this. This is just coming to the back of my head right now. So we were over the pavilion. It's the largest stage they got, and I believe it's a 5,000 person capacity venue.
Wow.
So I believe at one point we had over 5,000. When I was performing, it looked packed the heck out. For anybody who hasn't, check out my page, check out my IG. I got a video of it right now. It looks packed out, bro. No, it was such a fun event. We got kids, we got teenagers, we got people from the Gonzaga schools coming over and checking me out, man. It was such a great experience. Just get around the youth and get around families.
So let me ask you, as a performer, do you find more, I guess, fulfillment or excitement in doing those shows? Because you're from Spokane, it's right in your backyard. It literally is. Like, being around those people, those literal neighbors of yours, like, how is that different from doing a show like you did, I mean, for example, out here with Amina and all of them? Like, that must be a completely different feeling going up on stage.
It's I know for sure people know the words to these songs. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
okay.
It's that type of feel when I'm Spokane. It feels like hometown hero-esque. You know what I mean? I get on the stage with a smile because I'm seeing so many familiar faces. It feels comfortable. It feels warm. I feel like I can ask them to do anything and they'll do it because we're friends. You know what I mean? Compare that to a show when I'm coming out to like out here or when I was with Amine. It's like I want to be your friend. You know that first experience where you like want to be somebody's friend, but imagine you're on stage trying to be 3,000 people's friends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
So it's like it's very exciting because I the thrill of a challenge to me is something I like really gravitate towards.
Okay.
So me personally, I like doing out of town shows. But yeah, it's a challenge that I gladly accept, and I think the best part about doing shows outside the city is that halfway through the show mark or halfway through the performance, when you look at the crowd, you're like, damn, all of y'all are engaging. Well,
yeah.
I got you.
Well, you're like, now now you're my family. Like now you guys know the words to this
now,
song.
I'm like,
you know?
after 15 minutes, now I feel like I can ask y'all anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
so
I mean?
that energy from your home shows, you know, it gets created at these new shows and these new environments.
Yeah. The home shows
really
gives you that extra oomph to go outside your city and do a little bit more. Like come up there with your chest up, like, yo, I know who I'm about. I know what I'm about, and I'm about to show you. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I know what I'm about.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna pop on over to a little break, throw in some music of good old Jango.
Yes.
I think we're gonna throw on merchandise next.
Merchandise, and for y'all who do not know, this is my latest release. Merchandise. It features my buddy Sam Chow. It is my largest song to date. Hit me on Spotify, Jango, Jango. Check it out.
So you guys just heard Merchandise by Jango. Absolute banger of a song. Crazy. It is. So you've heard two songs now by Jango, Espresso and Merchandise. It's given you listeners a little bit of a taste of that sound. It's pretty genre bending. It's a mixture of a lot of things, and I honestly really love it. What's that process look like for you, like in the studio? Like, do you kind of have one producer that you're always working with, or you know, how are you doing things on the back end?
Generally with the music you guys have just heard, Espresso and Merchandise, I have utilized one producer. He literally is the one producing mainly all the tracks on this next project I will be releasing come next year. And our process, man, it's very macro. When I say macro, it's very open. Like there's times we go in the studio and we just watch an episode from one of our favorite animes or from our favorite TV shows.
That's awesome.
And the reason we do this is because it helps us understand each other's dialogue, language. It helps us understand things together in a visual sense. So I'm like, oh, I want to make a song that hits like this TV show right here, this anime right here. You know what I mean? I want to make a song that's like Naruto. Like, what does that sound like? What does that feel like? You gotta watch the show to know what I'm saying. So we spend a lot of time just like, man, building relationship and conversation together.
Okay.
And then from there, we started making and producing songs. And that's why when you hear songs like, oh shoot, there's no names to these. Oh, you hear songs like, I was about to start talking about some of the songs on the record, but I was like, wait a minute, it ain't even out yet. But I mean, even like Merchandise, the reason we were able to like do that well is because we were like, okay, like let's listen to half of Sam Chow's catalog, and then decide how we want to play this. And the biggest thing that kept coming back about Sam Chow's, some of his music is pretty funky. Yeah. The way he comes off sometimes, it feels like the. So I'm like, ooh, that's cool. How can we do that? But make it sound huge. Give it that like EDM flair. How can we make it sound progressive but also funky at the same time? Gotcha. So we coined this term before we even made the beat. I was like, we want to make a futuristic funky beat. Okay. Yeah. With a little flair, a little EDM flair, something to punch, make it kick a little bit, something so people can dance and be a little groovy. Not just so funky to where you're just snapping your neck, but you want to move too. Yeah. So we define it first and then we'll make the productions. Sometimes we just make a beat because we're sitting there. But most times we'll define it based off of visual inspirations, based off of sonic inspirations, based off of what we're seeing.
It sounds like you really are like, you're trying to dial in and lock down the feeling that the song is bringing,
absolutely.
You know, like you don't want to just put this out there, and you want it to hit that part of the person and really make them feel something.
Yeah, and as simple and as funny as it is, it's like literally we're just catching and looking for vibes.
Yeah. No,
that's where the music's coming from. We're looking for vibes, because when you scroll through as a consumer, when you're listening to music, you're just looking for vibes.
Yeah.
15 seconds per song, or just do I vibe with this or not?
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen to words. So we just create vibes and then micro it in. Like,
yeah. Awesome. No, I think it's a really awesome process. Like I know we've chatted a little bit about it before, but like a couple weeks ago, I joined in one of your Instagram lives while you were in the studio working on something, and it was a really fascinating process because, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people don't get that full side of it or don't understand it, and like for me, like I was just laying in bed and I saw that notification pop on my phone. And I was like, I'm intrigued. I want to watch this. I have no idea what you're doing, but it really like made me see that different side of you as an artist. Like there is more that it like. There's blood, sweat, and tears that go into this stuff. You know,
and I'm pretty hands-on as far as like helping direct some of the productions and the sounds that are like being involved into my songs. I know a lot of artists, they're more just like, some artists can just be rappers, you know what I mean? They write their part, they go in the studio, they record, boom, boom, out. Like I come from a band background, so I'm very intrigued from the intro of the song and like each section and how things are structured. I'm very intrigued by that and like to be a part of it all. I'm big on that type of stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, you do an amazing job at producing it. I mean, alongside.
Yeah, co-producer. My main producer's name is Ben Sway.
Ben Sway.
And he does a lot of the heavy leg work, you know what I'm saying? I make suggestions, or I like, you know, I'm like the root. I'm like, I want to do this, and then he starts, and I'll start being like, oh, change this part. But he does the bass.
Gotcha.
He's the guy.
So then, are there, you said you're working alongside of him in this whole new project. Are there any new sounds, new styles that you're kind of trying out in some of this new stuff? I mean, we obviously, the listeners have heard Espresso merchandise, and but are you gonna kind of mix things up? You gonna try anything new?
With the record that I will be dropping next year, the project, you will hear a lot more punk and a lot more guitars. It's gonna be a lot heavier in that sense. Yeah. Reason being, if you've ever been to one of my live shows, you've heard some of the songs. So it's a lot darker than most of the music you've heard. I mean, Espresso's pretty dark, but it's not punk rock. It's not that just yet. Yeah. That was just a little taste. I just wanted to like, let me test the waters.
You're experimenting a little bit.
100%. But now I'm like fairly confident what the sound's gonna be like. Fairly confident on like the direction I want to go, and we're gonna like really hit that full force. Awesome. You'll get hip hop, but you're also gonna get punk, and you're also gonna get some rock.
Do you? This might be top secret, but are you working alongside anybody on this new project?
It is top. One person that I will mention, I think I've mentioned this before too. There is one artist, Teza.
Oh.
Yeah, that I'm really working hard to get on this record. We have a couple songs that we've already kind of put together, and we're just trying to find the best one to fit the project. If it doesn't fit for this project, it'll be on the next one. But her energy definitely is one that coincides with mine and really complements it. And vice versa. Like, I mean, her energy is her own thing, but it really complements like some of the stuff I do. You know, she does the hip hop, the electro pop, and she definitely has a lot of like heavy rock type influences as well. So it just goes hand in hand. The energy she brings to a show is, oh my god, I'd love to share a stage with her. Yeah.
So I know this is just a little like fun question. I know, just like keeping up with you and stuff, you're good friends with Acid Tongue.
Absolutely. Yeah, guy's so dope.
Love Acid Tongue. Yeah. Have you guys ever like just kind of like shoot, like just mess around, like
more top secret stuff?
Dude.
How do I say
amazing.
This? We've made so many songs we could drop a project. Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you, like just me keeping up with you on socials is like there's so much that you're up to, so many questions. Like if you guys aren't following him, please follow him because he's up to some amazing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you can look. There's so many people who, I want to do music with rock bands. So I want to do music with Monster Watch. I would love to get something with Elvis Batchild. I want to do music with Black Tones because I've been on their stage. For Capitol Hill Block Party,
Yeah.
I was on main stage with the Black Tones.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And I rapped off of one of their songs.
Wow.
Did a little freestyle, did a little rapping, like improv and stuff. It's freaking.
I wish I could have seen that.
We joke around all the time, but I'm the fifth Black Tone. You dig?
Yeah.
I'm the fifth Black Tone.
That's so cool, dude.
So I definitely they're high key for me. I want to do music with Black Tones.
Yeah.
And Acid Tongue for sure. I need to.
No, dude. Over the summer I was at this event and just walking around and I heard Humpty Dumpty in the background, and I was like, is that Acid Tongue? So I run over to the main stage. Randomly Acid Tongue is performing here.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so I like immediately start skirting around looking for you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Jango has to be here. He's got to be a king with Acid Tongue. Right
dang it, it's funny.
I think that would be really cool to see some of that come to fruition.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we will in the future.
We talked about it. Every time I see guys like, man, let's finish up some of those records, bro. We got to put something out. I'm like, he just makes it seem like the simplest thing ever. So
yeah.
I think because of his vibe and energy, it's going to happen. It has
absolutely. It's all a process. You know? You're getting things done in due time. You're a busy man for sure. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think we're going to kind of, do you care if we play one of the new
Oh, you want to play a new record?
We
can get some snippets. We definitely can get some snippets of the new joints.
Yeah.
I got one coming out here pretty soon. No date specific, but we do got one coming out here pretty soon. By the name of Total. I would love to share that. It's a pretty dope song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get Total going on the air for you guys. How long do you think you really worked on this song so far?
Oh my gosh. You don't understand. Everything on this record has been like, on this project has been like a definitely like strong process of defining cadences, defining language. So honestly, how long is this song total? I would say at least 6 to 7 months. Yeah, at least 6 to 7 months on this one. And that's just because of cadence and tone and like verbiage alone. Like we spent a lot of time trying to perfect songs. Obviously in the future, because I really have a lot of the tones and I already have the verbiage and the cadences down for like the style of the Goon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's everything else has been cakewalk, but some of these songs, like Total was one of those like front end songs that I was like building on. So
awesome. Well, we got it queued up in the studio, so
let's
give it a little listen. So that was just one of your new songs.
Boom, boom, boom!
Absolute banger. That will be out later this year or next year?
Definitely the plan is to run it for later this year. If not later this year, it'll be early beginning of next year.
Awesome. Well, everybody should be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. Or just come to a show, listen to it live, baby. You know
exactly. I mean? On top of that, so you have the show run coming up.
Yep. 9th through the 11th. It'll be Moscow, Boise, and Portland. Come to a city near you, baby.
All three amazing cities.
Yes, sir.
And then we're also going to be trying to get something going on in October out in Pullman. What else? What's in the foreseeable future for you?
One thing that I definitely announced as far as more shows, I do got something in Seattle. I'm going to be hopping over to the Freak Out Records Music Festival.
Okay.
Out in Seattle. It's November 10th through the 13th. And would that be my first? Wait a minute. No, Capitol Hill Block Party is my first show performing as Jang. So this will be another festival I perform as Jang, and I'm giving that energy. So
yeah,
that'll be super exciting to get that out there and put that out there and just continue growing that energy.
So tell me about that name change.
I'll do it briefly because it hasn't officially dropped yet.
Okay.
But very briefly, from Jango to Jang, Jang really represented the high energy. It really represented the change and growth that I experienced over the last couple of years.
Okay.
Jango was something, when I originally picked the name, it represented to me being a leader in my community. To me, Jango was my thoughts for it was for Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as I started to perform for other people naturally started to call me Jang. People in Seattle like, oh, what's his name again? Jang. Oh, Jang. You know what I'm saying? And that energy that I was giving, that rougher energy, that rebellious energy, really started to be developed under that name, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it just kind of came natural to me, and I just decided, I was like, man, to like really represent our growth here and our change. Let's do something. Let's do something different.
No,
let's change it up a little bit.
I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for one, you're going out of your way to really visually, like on paper, like you're changing your name, but to show your change as an artist, as a person. And I think that's really cool, really interesting. Because I definitely remember seeing on the Capitol Hill Block Party list.
Everyone's been asking.
Yeah, no, I remember. I was like, wait, what's up with that?
I love it.
And then and so I was a little confused with that, but no, that's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. I'm really happy to see that for you.
Bless you, man.
Yeah. So
Bless
is that kind of it? Just you got this in November.
Yes, and then we do got another surprise coming into Spokane. But I'll wait to announce it to officially announce. For anybody who doesn't really hasn't followed my socials yet, you can catch me on Instagram first. That's where all my friends and all my people get to know me are at. Jango Lives. That's JangoLives. Or you can catch me on my website. That's where you can see where all my shows are happening. You can buy tickets, of course. You can catch all my music on my website at JangoLives.com. So that's JangoLives.com. Boom!
And we will also be, posting everything on our website, KZUU.org. Wow, I messed that up live on air. That is embarrassing. It's a little bit of a tongue twister at times.
Absolutely.
KZUU.org. We will be posting all of this, all your information.
Love that.
Making sure that, everybody can keep up to date because, especially, moving forward, building our relationship, building your relationship with the greater Pullman area and getting some shows and really just, hitting the college scene. Like, make sure you guys stay in touch because you don't want to miss anything that he's doing, at all. It's literally insane.
And if you're in Pullman right now and you're tapped into this, whether it be tapped in right now or tapped in later, let's do this later when it's streaming everywhere. I got a show in Moscow. Come hang out with me. Come be friends. September 9th. I'm over at John's Alley Tavern. It's 10-15 minutes away.
Do you have any promotional art for that?
We do have a flyer. I'll share it.
Share that over. We'll start getting that around here.
That'd be dope. I'll send it over to you ASAP Rocky. But yeah, it's a 21+ show. But I mean, y'all are in college, so some of y'all must be 21, right?
No, you guys better get there.
Yeah,
no
come over to the tavern. Come grab a drink, a beer or something. I drink beer. Come hang out and let's make it fun. And if you're a rager, definitely come through because I need y'all to rage with me. You dig?
Yes. I mean,
dig.
I'm unfortunately 20, so I will not be attending.
Oh, God.
But
you in college, bro. You don't got a big ID.
Dude, hey, I can't expose myself. So I will not be attending, unfortunately, but I wish you the best of luck.
Bless you, man.
I'm literally so excited to see all the amazing things that you continue to do. Every day I see your posts, I'm like, dang, this guy amazes me.
Bless you, man.
I literally am in awe just by all the things you do. It's been a great opportunity to have you out here and talk about everything. And
I'm glad. I'm such a face-to-face person, so we couldn't have done it like this. It would have had to be a Zoom call.
Yeah.
The cell phone only gets right. And then the phone be getting warm on your face and stuff.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
To see
No, for sure. No, and it will, you'll be back out here again in this area. So we have this relationship. Maybe he comes back on for another interview or something at some point.
We need to get the Greek boys to hit me up.
Yes. Everybody in Greek life or anybody with a big house parties, house shows, stuff like that, we want to hit it hard. He wants to hit it hard out here.
I want to smack a house party out in Greek Road.
You guys aren't ready for the type of energy that he has. If you want to see Jango Lives on Instagram, go check it out. It is an insane stage presence.
Yes, sir.
So,
bless you, man.
It'll be worth it. But I think that's everything I have for today. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, follow me, show love. I don't know how your day's going, but I hope after this, I'm praying for y'all to have a blessed day. We should show maybe one little more sneak peek to something.
Yeah? We'll get a little sneak peek going?
Yeah, we'll get one more little thing. Just a little small thing. Brief.
Fill them in with this little one. Tell them a little something about this one.
Okay, this is another one off the record. It goes by the name of Skirt. What will you hear in this? You'll hear guitars, you'll hear aggressive energy, you'll hear the Goon talking this thing, you know what I mean? It's one of the very first records or songs I made for my new project. So I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope y'all enjoy the tone. And check it out. It's called Skirt.